So America's dad, Bernie Sanders, went beast mode on the corporate Democrats on the issue of Medicare for all. Let's take a look at this clip. To me, this is art.
You support Medicare for all, which would eventually take private health insurance away from more than 150 million Americans in exchange for government-sponsored health care for everyone. Congressman Delaney just referred to it as bad policy, and previously he has called the idea political suicide that will just get President Trump reelected. What do you say to Congressman Delaney?
You're wrong. Right now, we have a dysfunctional healthcare system, 87 million uninsured or underinsured, $500,000 Americans every year going bankrupt because of medical bills, 30,000 people dying while the healthcare industry makes tens of billions of dollars in profit. 5 minutes away from here, John, is a country. It's called Canada. They guarantee health care to every man, woman, and child as a human right. They spend half of what we spend. And by the way, when you end up in a hospital in Canada, you come out with no bill at all. Health care is a human right, not a privilege. I believe that. I will fight for that.
Thank you, Senator Sanders. Congressman Delaney?
Well, I'm right about this. We can create a universal health care system to give everyone basic health care for free, and I have a proposal to do it. But we don't have to go around and be the party of subtraction and telling half the country who has private health insurance that their health insurance is illegal. My dad, the union electrician, loved the health care he got from the IBEW. He would never want someone to take that away. Half of Medicare beneficiaries now have Medicare Advantage, which is private insurance, or supplemental plans. It's also bad policy. It'll underfund the industry. Many hospitals will close, and it's bad policy.
Senator Sanders,
my name was also mentioned in this.
We're going to come to you in 1 second, but let me go to Senator Sanders right now. Senator Sanders?
The fact of the matter is, tens of millions of people lose their health insurance every single year when they change jobs, when their employer changes that insurance. If you want stability in the healthcare system, if you want a system which gives you freedom of choice with regard to doctor or hospital, which is a system which will not bankrupt you, the answer is to get rid of the profiteering of the drug companies and the insurance companies, move to Medicare for all.
So here we are in Detroit, home of the United Auto Workers. We have all our union friends here tonight. This plan that's being offered by Senator Warren and Senator Sanders will tell those union members who gave away wages in order to get good health care that they're going to lose their health care because Washington's going to come in and tell them they got a better plan. This is the left and right thing. New and better is this. Move Medicare down to 50. Allow people to buy in. Kaiser Permanente said that if those 60 million people do that, they will see a 40% reduction in their health care costs. Let businesses buy in, Jake.
So, Senator, let's talk about that. If Medicare for All is enacted, there are more than 600,000 union members here in Michigan who would be forced to give up their private health care plans. Now, I understand that it would provide universal coverage, but can you guarantee those union members that the benefits under Medicare for All will be as good as the benefits that their representatives, their union reps, fought hard to negotiate?
Well, two things. They will be better because Medicare for All is comprehensive. It covers all health care needs. For senior citizens, it will finally include dental care, hearing aids, and eyeglasses.
But you don't know.
Second of all,
you don't know that,
second of all,
we'll come to you in a second,
I do know, and I wrote the damn bill. Second of all, many of our union brothers and sisters, nobody more pro-union than me up here, are now paying high deductibles and co-payments. And when we do Medicare for all, instead of having the company putting money into health care, they can get decent wage increases, which they're not getting today.
So the bill that Senator Sanders drafted, by definition, will lower quality in health care because it says specifically that the rates will be the same as current Medicare rates. And the data is clear. Medicare does not cover the cost of health care. It covers 80% of the cost of health care in this country. And private insurance covers 120%. So if you start underpaying all the health care providers, you're going to create a two-tier market where wealthy people buy their health care with cash, and the people who are forced, like my dad, the union electrician
Thank you,
will have that
Congressman.
health care plan taken away from him.
Thank you,
They
Congressman.
will be forced
I want to
into
give
an
Senator
underfunded
Sanders.
system.
I want to give Senator Sanders a chance to respond.
All right. Under Medicare for all, the hospitals will save substantial sums of money because they're not going to be spending a fortune doing billing and the other bureaucratic things that they have to do today.
I've done the
Second
math,
of
it
all,
doesn't add up.
maybe you did that and made money off of health care, but our job is to run a nonprofit health care system.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Hot diggity damn. He just told Delaney to his face, like, oh, you? Oh, you're the massive corporatist who's insanely corrupt and bought by these corporations, huh? And he is! He is! Delaney is a multi-millionaire, and he's made his money in a lot of questionable ways tied to the healthcare industry. So he absolutely nailed him to the wall there. Just so everybody knows, and you could fact check it, everything Delaney says is utter horseshit, okay? Quality of care in every other developed country, and all the other developed countries have one version or another of single payer, quality of care is better. They pay like half what we pay, and the quality of the care is better. In this country, we have people who go bankrupt because they can't afford their medical bills. We have 30 to 45,000 Americans who die every year because they don't have access to basic health care. We have over 30 million Americans who don't have health insurance. Our system is abysmal. And oh, by the way, only 80% of the money that goes to for-profit health insurance companies actually goes towards health care. For Medicare, it's over 90%. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 95% of the money that goes to Medicare goes to actual care. For for-profit health insurance companies, so much is like on, shitty overhead costs and whatnot. And by the way, prior to Obamacare, sometimes these companies had that ratio of like 50-50, like only half the money they were taking in was going to actual health care. They are an unnecessary, mafia-like, parasitic middleman. And for John Delaney to make all these arguments acting like, what do you mean, bro? It's a better system with for-profit middlemen for no reason. It's just beyond stupid. Now, he busted everybody up there. The "I wrote the damn bill" response was the line of the night. I mean, that was just, knockout punch in the first round. That's what that was. And the thing that's so funny is that Tim Ryan is actually a supporter of one of the Medicare for All bills in the House, which goes to show you what? A lot of those people who signed on to Medicare for All after there was this massive public backlash and campaign to get the politicians to sign on to Medicare for All, a lot of them are just liars. And they just wanted people off their ass. And when push came to shove, they wouldn't actually support Medicare for All. Now, we did everything we could, and Justice Democrats did everything they could. You guys probably remember me coming on this show and telling everybody, call your representative, let's get involved, let's do this, and let's push them. And we did a really good job getting that number up and having way more people support Medicare for All, and we've definitely moved the Overton window. But just remember, there's always going to be slimy, sleazy politicians out there like Tim Ryan who tell you, oh yeah, I'm totally for it, and then he's arguing against it on stage here. Tim, that makes no sense. You're for the bill that you're arguing against? That makes absolutely no sense. And then, by the way, he's gaslighting about how, what about these union people? And listen, they worked hard to get their health care, and they negotiated for their private health insurance, and you want to take that away, bro. Not cool. And then he goes on to say, oh, here's a really good idea. Why don't we lower the Medicare age to 50? But wait, that would have the same reaction of the thing you were just decrying. You were saying if we do Medicare for All, union people will lose their for-profit middleman health insurance companies, and that's not good. If you lower the Medicare age to 50, people who are over 50 will also lose, if they're in unions, will lose that, their private health insurance. So it's like, they don't even try to make sense. They don't even try to be logically consistent. All they know is, this policy is bad, this policy is wrong, even though it is objectively the best policy, because it's empirically proven when you look at the evidence around the rest of the developed world. So it's so insufferable, man. These guys are such tools, and really you can't help but think that many of them are just gaslighting to protect the profits of the health insurance companies. People got to dig into their backgrounds, man. Got to dig into Tim Ryan, definitely John Delaney. We know he's made money from our broken healthcare system, but they've probably taken money in one way or another from pharmaceutical executives or corporate PACs or whatever it may be. But they're definitely not making sound arguments here, and Bernie was obliterating them in every imaginable way. I mean, really, A-plus job there from Bernie. Seriously. A-plus job. From calling out Delaney directly for being corrupt to going after Tim Ryan and saying, I wrote the damn bill. How stupid is Tim Ryan? I mean, this reminds me of when he confused Al-Qaeda and the Taliban in the last debate, and Tulsi drove a monster truck over his face. In this debate, Tim Ryan, you're walking right into a trap, dipshit. You're going to... Bernie, you don't know that Medicare for All would cover dental and hearing aids and eyeglasses? Of course he knows! He wrote the damn bill! How do you not know that? I have a theory, and my theory is Tim Ryan is actually a very stupid person. Because listen, there's no way a better candidate would not walk into those traps, would not confuse Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, would not tell Bernie Sanders he doesn't know what's in Medicare for All. Obviously, you don't know anything, Tim. And then, by the way, he had another moment, during the night where Tim Ryan said to Bernie, you don't have to yell, Bernie. He said that. And then later on Twitter, he tried to make that a thing. In the same way I wrote the damn bill actually became a thing and people loved it. Tim Ryan tweeted a sticker, and the sticker was like, you don't have to yell. And then he had the king of all ratios where like 5,000 people responded to his tweet shitting on it, and he only had like 95 retweets. Think of that ratio, son. For those of you who aren't Twitter heads, you might not know what I'm talking about here, but a ratio is a sign of a terrible tweet, because it means more people responded to you than actually retweeted your tweet. And usually the responses are like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. So when there are more replies than retweets, that's a ratio. 5,000 replies, 95 retweets. Come on, man. Pack it up. You're donezo. This is Overington. John Delaney, move along. Mr. Arrogantly wrong about everything. The dude is running for the Democratic nomination, and his whole philosophy is, I'm against what the Democratic base wants. I'm against what the polls show the Democratic base overwhelmingly wants. Honestly, it's embarrassing. It is actually embarrassing to watch what's happening, to watch how you're doing. And Delaney thought he nailed it too. Afterwards on Twitter, he had like quotes from some mainstream media goons who said, Delaney had his moments or whatever. And everybody's like, what planet are you living on, son? Go run as a Republican.